Let's close out this chapter with some discussion on global ethics. There is this thing called the Earth Charter, which states we stand at a critical moment in Earth's history, a time when humanity must choose its future. As the world becomes increasingly interdependent and fragile, the future at once holds great peril and great promise. To move forward, we must recognize that in the midst of a magnificent diversity of cultures and life forms, we are one human family and one Earth community with a common destiny. We must join together to bring forth a sustainable global society founded on respect for nature, universal human rights, economic justice, and a culture of peace. Towards this end, it's imperative that we, peoples of Earth, declare our responsibility to one another, to the greater community of life, and to future generations. Okay? So, the author suggests that three sections of the Earth Charter can be used as a context for refining moral responses to global change. Okay, so the sections include valuing ecological integrity, social and economic justice, and democracy, non-violence, and peace. So going after the great principles that were practically successfully used, although paying a price in terms of personal life, Mahatma Gandhi and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. showed us that non-violence is an incredibly effective tool to bring about change when the cause is just and moral, right? So this is a international indigenous conference that was held in 2012, Rights of Mother Earth, Restoring Indigenous Life Ways of Responsibility and Respect, Haskell Indian Nations University in Lawrence, Kansas. I'm just using that as another example of how widespread the awareness is. So the Earth Charter has these four principles: respect and care for the community of life, so interdependence of all life, love and responsibility, democracy and freedom, justice across generations. Second one is ecological integrity, which covers protect Earth's diversity, prevent ecological harm, sustainable lifestyles, and share knowledge. Third one is on social and economic justice, which includes eradicate poverty, equitable human development, gender equality and equity, dignity, inclusion, and well-being. The fourth one being democracy, non-violence, and peace that we just talked about, transparency and participation. Right? So that's agency. Everybody has agency and to act. Integrate values into education. This is critical. Many efforts are underway in this as well. Respect all living beings. This is something that still needs a lot of thought and restraint and laws. Non-violence and peace. Of course, this has also not been completely successful in terms of restraint and law. These overlap with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals that I already mentioned, which go from poverty, hunger, well-being, health to reduced inequalities and partnerships for the goals, peace, justice, strong institutions. Everything we can think of is under there, including clean water and sanitation. And there are metrics that are used to track how we are doing on these. As I said, in the last century they were called Millennium Goals, Millennium Targets, I think, and now they're called Sustainable Development Goals. They have a timeline and incredible effort, incredible set of people working on them. So let's close out the chapter again, reading Laudato Si from Pope Francis, the papal encyclical. The urgent challenge to protect our common home includes a concern to bring the whole human family together, to seek a sustainable and integral development, for we know that things can change. Humanity still has the ability to work together in building our common home. Okay, that's an optimistic note. Humanity still has the ability to work together in building our common home. Any given day it might look like there are so many wars going on, there is violence and so on, but a longer term a broader look seems to indicate that global cooperation is on the increase, and global exposure of cultures, exchanges, education, awareness helps. And if religions can play into that and become a part of the solution with the Science Religion Alliance, then we are good to go in terms of social transformation and social solutions to climate change with climate justice and rights for all, etc. Right? Awesome. We will close this out here and start the next chapter a little bit later.